Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Carol. And this is Sailor.
And this is Gunner. So thanks for joining us for our Kids Bible series. Today, we are learning about Noah's Ark.
Yay.
Sailor, have you ever heard about Noah's Ark?
Kind of.
Yeah? Are you ready to hear the story? Noah did what God told him to do. Although he must have seemed very strange to all the other people, building a great ark when there was no water around at all. Noah and his sons were at work building the ark for 120 years. That's how long it took, you guys. While the wicked people around wandered and no doubt laughed at Noah. At last the ark was finished. Standing like a great house on the land, there was a door on one side and a window on the roof to let in the light. Then God said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and your wife, your 3 sons and their wives, for the flood of the waters will come very soon. And take with you animals of all kinds, and birds, and things that creep. Take 7 pairs of those that will be needed by men, and 1 pair of all the rest, so that all kinds of animals will be kept alive on the earth." Sailor, what would you take on the boat? What would be your favorite animals to take?
I would take bunnies,
Of course.
lions, I don't know, elephants.
Yeah?
Did you say and creepy things?
Yeah. It says creepy
No.
things.
No, we saw that big spider the other day that can swallow a bird at the museum in Edmonton. No. We will not take that. It's so gross, Carol, and its body is huge. Size of my fist.
The abdomen, yeah.
Oh. Carry
Okay.
on.
So Noah and his wife and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Again, we're not very good with names over here, so don't crucify me.
Sounds pretty good.
With their wives went into the ark, and God brought to the door of the ark the animals, the birds, and the creeping things of all kinds, and they went into the ark. Noah and his sons put them in their places and brought in food for them all. Then the door of the ark was shut, so no more people and no more animals could come in. Imagine. In a few days, the rain began to fall as it had never fallen before. It seemed as though the heavens were pouring great floods upon the earth. The streams filled, the rivers rose higher and higher, and the ark began to float on the water. The other people left their houses and ran up to the hills, but soon the hills were covered, and all the people on them were swept away. Some had climbed up to the hill tops of higher mountains, but the water rose higher and higher until even the mountains were covered, and all the people, wicked as they were swept away in the great sea that now rolled over all of the earth. And all the animals, cattle, sheep, oxen, lions, tigers, and all the rest were also swept away, even the birds and their nests. For 40 days and nights, the rain kept on until there was no life remaining outside of the ark. After 40 days, the rain stopped, but the water stayed on the earth for more than 6 months. The ark with everyone in it floated over the great sea that covered the land. Then God sent a wind to blow over the water and dry it. So gradually the water grew less and less. First the mountains rose up above the water, then the hills rose up, and finally the ark ceased to float and lay aground on Mount Ararat. But Noah could not see what happened on the earth, because the door was shut. He felt that the ark was no longer moving, and he knew that the water must have gone down. So, after waiting for a time, Noah opened a window and let out a raven. Now the raven has strong wings, and this raven flew round and round until the water had gone down, and it could find a place to rest. and it did not come back to the ark. After Noah waited for it for a while, he sent out a dove. But the dove could not find any place to rest, so it flew back to the ark, and Noah took it in again. Then Noah waited a week more and sent out the dove again. In the evening, the dove came back to the ark, which was its home, and in its bill was a fresh leaf it had picked off an olive tree. So Noah knew the water had gone down enough to let the trees grow once more. He waited another week and sent out the dove again. This time, the dove flew away and never came back. So Noah knew the earth was becoming dry again. He took off a part of the roof and looked out, and saw that there was dry land all around the ark. Noah had now lived in the ark a little more than a year, and he was glad to see the green land and the trees once more. God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark with your wife and your sons and their wives, and all the living things that are with you in the ark." So Noah opened the door of the ark, came out, and stood on the ground. All the animals and birds and creeping things in the ark came out also, and began to bring life back to the earth. The first thing that Noah did when he came out of the ark was give thanks to God for saving all his family. He built an altar, laid on it an offering to the Lord, and gave himself and his family to God, promising to do God's will. God was pleased with Noah's offering, and said, "I will not destroy the earth again on account of men, no matter how bad they may be. From this time, no flood shall ever cover the earth. The seasons of spring and summer and fall and winter shall remain without change. I give you the earth. You shall be the rulers of the ground and of every living thing on it." Then God raised a rainbow to appear in the sky, and he told Noah and his sons that whenever they or the people after them saw the rainbow, they should remember God had placed it in the sky as a sign of his promise that he would always remember the earth and the people on it, and would never again send a flood to destroy it. So whenever we see a beautiful rainbow, we should remember it is a sign of God's promise to the world. Some of the questions that you might ask regarding this story, if you want to think more about it and talk to, your sisters, brothers, parents. What did God tell Noah to do? How do you think Noah felt? What did he do? What happened to all the other people? Why did God do that? After the flood was over, what did Noah do? And then finally, what did God promise Noah? Okay, so some food for thought. And pause the video. So do you have anything else to add, Carol?
Yeah, actually, again, I'm just going to pull out this book that has 500 questions and answers of the Bible. So it does say Genesis 9:13. So chapter 9, verse 13. It said, "Why did God use a rainbow as a sign of the covenant with Noah?" Do you know why he would? Okay, so this is how they explain it. It says, "Perhaps God chose the rainbow because it appears after a rainstorm, an appropriate reminder of the great flood and of his promise not to destroy the world again. Note also that the rainbow curves downward at each end. God's bow rests pointing away from the earth, away from people. God has in effect hung up his bow. It no longer points menacingly toward the sinful earth." So again, there's this little thing. It shows a nice little rainbow. And then in this little box, it says, "When I see the rainbow in the clouds," God told Noah, "I will remember the eternal covenant between God and every living creature on earth, never again to destroy all life with a flood." Okay, what do you think we can learn from this story, Sailor? I know, it seems kind of sad that God was a bit angry, eh? Yeah. Let's talk about some of those lessons from Noah's Ark so that we can better understand. Remember that we're just coming from a place of just learning. This is why this channel was made, is for all of us to kind of learn together. Number one, listen to God. Noah obeyed God even when others didn't. We should listen to God too. Because when we listen and we do good things, right, good things happen. Trust God. Noah trusted God's plan, even when it seemed strange, right? Because there was like no water. And he said to build a boat. So everybody thought they were weird. We can trust God to take care of us. And when we do, good things happen. Number three, God keeps his promises. God gave the rainbows a promise never to flood the earth again. Number four, Jesus saves us. Just like the ark saved Noah, Jesus saved us from sin. Number five, care for creation. Noah took care of animals, and we should care for God's world too. Number six, God is patient. God gave people time to change. We should choose to follow him. Number seven, hope after hard times. So that rainbow is supposed to remind us, right? After the flood, God gave Noah a new start. God brings hope too. So that the story reminds us to love and trust God every day.
Yeah, and just like a good father or good mother, there's rules like the 10 Commandments. They're put in place so that like it keeps us safe. It keeps bad things from happening to us. Sometimes we don't listen to all of mom and dad's rules, and then we kind of rebel and go and do something, and then we have to live with those consequences. God's just ultimately trying to protect all of us and give us a life of abundance and happiness. So
I
that's
think this one's ready for bed. Thank you, Auntie Carolyn and Mr. Gunner, for showing up tonight and giving us the story to think about. And we look forward to other stories, kid stories from this book that Carolyn has. Carolyn, can you show the cover again?
You totally tickled my ear.
I've seen that. Stories from this bedtime Bible story book. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. And thanks, Auntie Carolyn, for the bedtime story and Mr. Gunner. And we look forward to many other stories, learning more about the Bible and God and all the great stories of the Bible. And we look forward to learning more and more. Thanks, everyone. Don't forget to, if you like the story, please share it with your friends. And let's all make heaven crowded.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Sailor. Bye, everyone.